Now, the fallout from Bernie Sanders' disastrous interview with Fox News' Brett Bauer continues. You know, the one where the global warming hysteric and socialist defended his use of private jets.
The only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United, waiting, 30,000 people are waiting? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past. We're going to do it in the future.
Only problem is you're not in campaign mode. There's no election, Bernie, and you're not the leader of the Democrats or the candidate. You can line up at United with the rest of them, and you know you've gotten stuffed up when even CNN is mocking you.
Tell me what the moment was in that answer that you thought, oh, this is going wrong.
The United thing, because we all you're a man of the people. How dare I have to be with the people, right? That's what, look, it's a cheap question. It's a smart alecky question. So it wasn't a serious question. It was kind of trolly. But his answer was terrible. You can't defend this answer. Hey, buddy, we all have to stand in line. We all have to do this. Even if you have 1K privileges, you're still standing in line. You still have to do this. You got to go through security.
It definitely came across as I'm not going to stand in this line.
Chuck Todd, he can't help himself. He has to be a clown. How was that a trolley question? A socialist taking private jets across the country should not be held to account. Joining me now for more on this is Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. Kosha, that was not a good performance from Bernie. And what campaign is he talking about? I mean, what sort of delusional situation has he got himself into?
The sweet addiction of private air travel is hard to give up. He's never going to give it up. We know we're all used to the hypocrisy with the climate hysterics, as you say, whether it's him or Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Al Gore, who's the OG, or the hypocrisy of socialists like AOC and him. They just love the trappings of capitalism and the comfort of private air. So we know that. But I think the worst part for him was when he let the mask slip and showed the superiority complex.
Yeah.
Why should I stand in line with the little people? So much so that even Chuck Todd, even though he tried to throw a lifeline by criticizing the questioner, Brett Bauer, he had to admit it, as you say, and he let the mask slip, and we're all here to see it.
That's it. And it's United. If it's too good for United, it's not like he's getting on Spirit Airlines. Now, that I would like to see. Now, a ceasefire of sorts in the tariff wars between the United States and China. They've agreed to a 90-day truce. And under this new agreement, the US will drop its 145% tariff on Chinese goods to 30%, while China is going to drop its 125% tariff to just 10%. This is quite the development, Kosha.
It is. Now, it is a stopgap measure because it's just a 90-day pause, not a resolution. So we've got a lot of wood to chop, but it's certainly a climb back down from the 145+%. The 30% on China is higher than historical averages, which used to be about 3%. Pre-Trump, and in his first term, he got to about 19%, so it's tougher than that. But he's tying it up with fentanyl and getting China to address the fentanyl crisis in some way, which is this whole China war is as much about that as it is about the trade deficit. So for now, on paper, at least, there seems to be alignment that they will do something about that, but we shall see.
But if we want to have a significant economic realignment, boost American manufacturing, end this reliance on China, particularly in so many crucial supply chains, it can't be this. It has to be something that is more impactful long term. So do you still think that's going to happen, or are we going to end up with something similar to this as the long term?
It's a big question because there's $600 billion in trade between the two countries, and he's trying to normalize that and equalize that. I think we'll have to run the numbers on if the 30% holds and some of the supply chains recalibrate to Vietnam and other markets, what does that do? But I think you're right that on the surface, to some people, it does feel like a little bit of a letdown compared to where the start was. But it could be that once you run the numbers and some of those recalibrations happen, it's moving the needle in the right direction, even if it's not a full saving grace.
And isn't it funny, all those Democrats who are obsessed about the share market fluctuations and the drops, they're not so obsessed now when the share market seems to be doing quite well.